Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xah Talk Show. Today is 2019, December 9th, Monday, noon, San Francisco time. And we have this beautiful pink craft. So, guys, hi, Matt. And today the plan is good morning, Dan. Good morning, Alan and Bart, and all you people. So today's plan is the first 20 minutes or possibly 30 minutes, we will do a Emacs list session. And after that, it's going to be random. And I'm thinking Japanese keyboard and Japanese input system and Japanese keyboard layouts. Those are fantastic topics, okay? So we're gonna do good morning, Kathy, and we're gonna do the Japanese keyboards. I'm going to explain to you how the Japanese input system works, what type are there, and the history of their keyboards layout. There are quite a few, so that's another topic. But the first 20 or 30 minutes is going to be technical, Emacs Lisp, okay, and so, shall we begin? Are you guys ready? So, I think we will begin. And I have a description in the YouTube description section. And we are going to. I'm wondering, should we start from scratch or should we start from a existing code? I think I'll start from scratch. Okay. I was going to ask you guys to vote, but every time I ask, you guys don't answer readily. So it's faster if I just make a choice and do it, and you just watch what I do. Okay, so Emacs list. Let me begin that. Okay, so let's check. Let's clock myself so I don't. So we're gonna do this quickly. This is gonna be a technical live coding and tutorial of Emacs list. Okay, so what are we going to do? I'm going to show you the command that is what we are going to do. So okay. So let me prepare first. Okay, so let me get into a let's get some images. Okay, so uh, okay, so Genesis. Okay, so we need to get a image. Okay, so I need to choose a image. Let's see some fantastic ones. Okay, so choosing an image is hard. Uh, well, let's just let's do the Tron. Okay, so Tron. Okay, and you can look at this is one of the Japanese keyboard Tron Jpeg. Okay, copy the file path. Yeah, okay, so wait, go to Xah Talk Show, show the window, and today's page, and go back, and we want to copy. Let's go to the directory I. Okay, go to the directory I, and open this file, image file. Go to diode. Okay, and so this is a file, and we are going to make a copy. So it's over here in this directory, and I'm going to rename it uh, xxtron. Okay, so we're gonna rename this file xxtron. So now here is the image. Close it, and we are going to. Okay, actually, so okay, so here I just renamed space to underscore. So here's the file, and close this directory. Close and copy the file path of the image. Close it. Okay, now we are back in Xah Talk Show page. Okay, and paste the image link you see there, and make it a image linkify. So now we have the image. Now I'm going very fast. You see all these custom commands are flying through. Now if you don't know what they are, just look them up, search them, you'll find it most likely on my website. Okay, so open this image. First of all, I want to convert it to JPEG. Okay, open it, go to diode, and you see this is an image file, and convert to JPEG. So that command is going to be these three key presses. So convert to grayscale, no. Max number of colors. Actually, that's a wrong command. So let's see. I forgot what's a key. So let's look at what's the key. Okay. So search for. So there it is. Dial to PNG. So on Vorak keyboard, it's basically F10 comma N. Okay. So let's call it on this file. Convert to PNG. So FA comma what is N? Okay. So N, it's done. So here is the file. You see, PNG files are usually 10 times larger than JPEG. So you see, this is a PNG, and here's a JPEG, usually about 9 times bigger. But anyway, open the PNG, copy the file path, close it, close diode, and paste it the file path there, and linkify. Show in browser. So we have a PNG version. Now we don't need the JPEG version anymore. Open it, open it and delete it. Okay, it's done. Show in browser. You see it's gone. Remove that, and now we're going to open that again. Go to diode. Go to diode. You see this is PNG and this is the JPEG. We are going to rename the PNG to be just XX Tron. Okay, rename it. Successful. Open it. Copy file path. Close, and paste the file path. Linkify. Remove that block. Show in browser. There we have it. This is a PNG file. Now all these are preparation. What I want to do is I want to convert this to JPEG. So normally what I do is open the file. Hold on a second. So normally I do is, so here's a task. Okay, here's a specification for what we need to do. So I want to convert this PNG image into JPEG. Then I want to linkify it. So reduce this file size by 10 times, because usually, here's a tip. Okay, usually when you have an image file, JPEG version is 10 times smaller, and you do not lose visual quality usually. Okay, so normally the way I do it is I open the file, go to diode, then call the command to convert it to JPEG. Wait, the command to JPEG is this. Okay, so you see it creates a JPEG image. Open it. I copy the file path, close. Then I paste the file path here, and I can linkify. Okay, now cut it and move it here. So you see we have two image files here. So here's a new JPEG. So show in browser, you can see two images, but the process is tedious because it requires me to go to, open the file, go to diode, call the command, copy the JPEG file path, close the diode, close the image, then paste the link, then linkify. Too many steps. I want it one shot. Okay, so I want to do it one shot. So that is the command we are going to write today. Okay, yeah, that is the specification. But before we do that, before we continue, let me delete this JPEG. Okay, so we are back to one PNG image. Now I have another command. Let me show you. Okay, so another command that does similar thing, but it's not exactly what we want. Actually, let's just start to write the command. Okay, so let's write down the spec. The spec for our command. Okay, convert the image file under cursor from JPEG to PNG, then linkify it in HTML. Okay, that is the command we want to do. And so convert the image file under cursor in a HTML file. Okay, from JPEG to PNG, then linkify it. So in other words, when I have cursor on this line, I just press a button, and that PNG becomes JPEG. Okay, that's what we want to do. So show in browser. So here's a spec. Let me magnify. Okay, so here's a spec, and we are going to code it now. So how long have I? Okay, we have 10 minutes. Let's see how fast we can do it. Okay, so before, so we're going to create Emacs list. Okay, so actually call the command Emacs list. Okay, create a template, open a new buffer, define function. Okay, and define function. The function name will be Xah convert uh, PNG to JPEG inline. Okay, make it hyphenated. Okay, because in Emacs list the name by convention is hyphenated. Okay, doc string is actually this one. Okay, convert the image file under cursor in HTML file from JPEG to PNG, then linkify it. Okay, then version date, today's date. Okay, then we start to code. Okay, but before I code, let me read. Take a minute to read the comments. Okay, so Alan says, do you ever write bash scripts? No, or basically never have to because you do Emacs this. Okay, the answer to that question is I do not code any bash at all because back in 20 years ago I learned Perl. I code Perl for 4 years, so everything you can do in bash you can do in Perl, and it's going to be possibly faster, more powerful, shorter code, So that's the reason I don't use Bash. In fact, I think Bash should be replaced by Perl. But anyway, that never happened. So that is the reason I never coded Bash. I always just code Perl. And but in our case, that is not the reason I don't code bash in Emacs list, because well, in Emacs list you don't want to code. It's best if you do not call external program. So for example, in this task, I could write an Emacs command that calls a shell command, the image magic convert, then grab the output. Actually, we are kind of doing that. But anyway, let's go on with this code. Okay. So Bart says recently I read that Perl is very slow except for string manipulation, which is the thing I made. Which is the thing is made for. No. Perl is actually Perl is about the same speed as Ruby and Python. In fact, it's probably a bit faster, a little bit. Okay, depending on what you do. So, in general, Perl, Python, Ruby, they are the exact same speed. So anyway, so let's read the comments. Let's see, and we're gonna start to code that. Okay, uh, so Polo says, "Good morning, Polo. We're gonna continue this. Okay, we're gonna stay focused on this. In 10 minutes, we'll be done. Actually, probably more than 10 minutes." Luke's video installing those packages from not being a super. What do you guys are talking about? Oh God, too many chat. Okay, so if you have a question for me, put a put my name there. Okay, I'm gonna skip the chat. No, don't listen to the what you hear. Okay, well, anyway, so let's keep going on with this. So about bash, well, I'm not going to talk about that today. So basically, try not to code bash, okay, unless you really have to. The only reason you have to is when you work for a company and that company is need to install programs. Then that is when you use bash, because bash is by convention. Okay, technically you don't want to use bash, but because of convention you have to follow it, kind of. So if you work in a company and the company is writing programs, installation programs, then use bash. Otherwise, do not use bash. Use Python, Ruby, Perl. Okay, and you don't use Perl either because Perl is kind of dead. So use Python and Ruby. And I don't like Python. Okay, so you can just use Ruby. So anyway, that's my reason about bash or not bash, and don't use any of the fancy dash or whatever, fish or whatever. Well, you could use them, but they are insignificant. Okay, inconsequential. Okay, so let's begin with this. Okay, so first of all, the task. First of all, so Dan says, how do you control the web browser from Emacs? What do you mean control? Like there's a command. I press a key, and it shows in web browser. I press another key back through Emacs. So that command is called Xah HTML browse URL or buffer. Okay, you can find on my website, and there's also a built-in command called browse URL. But anyway, I did a video about that. How do you control? So okay. So if you have address, if you have questions, put my name to it. Okay, so I can see it. So let's continue with this code. So we want to. So first of all, we need to do this fast. Okay, because otherwise it's gonna be too long. Okay. So first of all, we need to get the file path under cursor. Okay. So let file input path. Okay, so let input path, and input path will be okay. We need to get that path into a string. Okay, so uh, let's do this. Okay, so input path is a variable set. Okay, set input path. Okay, and we want to set it to thing at point. Now I'm going to code this fast. If you have questions, put my name into it. Okay, then I'll see it and answer. And I'm still going. Okay, so thing at point, I want a file name. Okay, file name. So delete all that. Delete all that. Okay, so yeah. So input path is the input file path. Then so now we get the file path. We can actually print it. Okay, so actually this code will work. Run it and copy it, the file name, and we put the cursor here. We put the cursor here and call the command metax Xah convert PNG to JPEG, and it's called. And you see in the mini buffer it prints the path. So that is great, success. Now we continue. Now we got the file path. So now the next step is to convert it to JPEG. We can do that by we are going to do that by calling the ImageMagick for command line. Okay, and that command line is going to be, let me try it. Okay, that command is okay. No, it's not that actually. So this is my shortcut to. So actually here is a command, convert something PM, convert something. Okay, so okay, we are doing this from scratch. Okay, so actually I already have code. If I just copy it, it might be much faster. But since we promised to code this from scratch, so let's do it from scratch. Okay, so the ImageMagick command we want to use is something like that. Okay, so it's going to be for example, cat well, cat my cat. Okay, my cat JPEG to actually not JPEG. So this is a command for ImageMagick. So that's the command we want to call. Okay, so copy that. So command string. Okay, this is gonna be shell command string. So we're gonna set command string. Then the command string will be format. Okay, so format basically something like that. Oops. Go back here. Format and okay, so that and that. Okay, and here will be input path. Okay, so let's clear it. So the command string is a shell command we want to call. So we're gonna we call convert which is from ImageMagick, and the PNG file name. Okay, so yeah, but we need to fix something else. So input path. So we got an input path. Then we need we need the file name part without the suffix, without the PNG, the extension PNG and Jpeg. So how do you do that? Go to Xah Emacs Lisp tutorial, practical Emacs Lisp. You can search that. You'll find the link URL. So you go to it, and this is about file name. So you want to go to read file the path. So that section. So functions on directory, function file path functions. So file name directory, file name non-directory, file name extension, file name sans extension. That's what we want. So close that. So file name sans extension. That is the command we want. Yay. So we put input path here, and we set file name. Okay, file call name. Okay, so set q file call name, and the value will be that. That's right. Okay, so file call name. So now we go here. That is correct. Okay, save it, close it, reopen it. Now, is the font too small here? I think it's is it too small or not? So Dan says, do you know Next browser from Atlas Engineer? No, I don't know what is that. Let's talk about that later. Okay, focus on the Emacs Lisp, guys. Are you guys here to learn Emacs Lisp or not? Ask pertinent questions like related to what we are doing, because otherwise I feel like I'm wasting it. This is gonna be. I mean, we are not. This is not random chat, right? So if you wanna fun is okay for you. Great. So okay, so we are trying to create a command string here, and this seems right. So let's print it. Okay. So message. Let's print message. Command string. Cool. Eval the buffer. Go back to the HTML. Call the command. Press enter. Correct. Can you see can you see the messages? So let me show you. Let's go to open the messages buffer. So you can see the message buffer. You can see that we are being correct here. Correctness is our concern. So you see, it printed that, meaning that we are doing good. We are making progress. So go back to the Lisp code, and let's set background color. What color should it be? Pink. We don't want pink. So let's pick a color that's light. Alice blue, whatever that is. Okay. So we can tell this is the messages, the output. So now we are back to the Lisp. So we need to, okay, so we have a command string. That's what we want. And it works. And now we're just going to call the shell command. Okay, call the shell command. Call it. So how do you call shell command? Shell command. That is correct. So shell command, obviously. So you just put the command string there. And we don't need output buffer, we don't need error buffer, we don't need. So that is it. Not yet, but we are almost done. Okay, so let's shrink the shrink this thing. Eval the buffer, we are done. So go back to so you see here we have the PNG file. Remember Now we go to diode. We drop into diode, and let's before we do anything, let's uh, remove all those backup files. So we start clean. Okay, delete. Okay, so you can see the xxtron is the file name. Now, if we call the command, it should create a PNG version. So let's call it. Xah convert PNG to JPEG inline. Call it. It says shell command succeeded without output. So let's look at the directory. Okay, there we have it. You see, this here is our file, JPEG file. Fantastic. Now, of course, we are not done yet because we want to automatically convert this line into that. And there is a question whether our command should delete the PNG file. We don't know. Let's do and see. Okay, so now it created the JPEG file, but now let's delete the JPEG file. Okay, because we're gonna do it again. Okay, so back. Now let's go back to our code. So now we call shell command. Now that's success. Now what's the next step? The next step is ask the user whether we should delete the PNG. Okay, so ask the user. So how do you ask user? Yes or no? Okay, so yes or no. No. Okay, so how do you ask user in Emacs Lisp a question? You go to Xah Practical Lisp, or the answer you need is here. So you need to be familiar with this tutorial structure. So this is about asking user. So get user input right there. Okay, so you have several different kind of questions. Get a string from user, get a file name, get a directory name, get regular expression, prompt for file name or prompt for directory, prompt for string. And in case, what we need is this one. Query user for yes, no. So there it is. So yes or no, P. So in Emacs Lisp, there's a convention. Whenever a command ends with -p, that P stands for predicate, which means this function returns yes or no, true or false, usually. Okay, so yes or no P, and you want to ask user, delete the PNG. Okay, so if user type yes, that means you got the answer from user. So if user says yes, then you delete the PNG. Then okay, how do you delete the PNG? You want to delete the file. Okay, delete file. There it is. Then you give a file path, I believe. So our file path, input path. Okay. So that is that. So otherwise, do nothing. So we don't need that part. So change if to when. Okay. Make it pretty. So when yes or no question, delete the PNG file. And if user says yes, then you call the delete command. Okay. Okay, that's about that. Then the next thing we need to do is we need to let's go to back to HTML. Remember, we need to replace this line. So what we want to do is we want to go back to the beginning of the tag, then insert it. Okay, it's a bit tedious. Okay, but we can do it. Okay, Bart says port Xah flag keys to VS Code. But pay me $50, I'll do it. Okay. Then we're gonna yeah, seriously. Someone you out there, if you want me to port Xah flag keys to VS Code, I would ask $100. $100 is not too much, okay? And I'll do it because or you wait for me to do it, but I don't know when. I need bread and butter. So anyway, let's get back to this. So what we need to do? Yeah, so we need to, let me just code it. Okay, search backward. Okay, hold on a second. Let me show the command window. Search backward. Okay, search backward. Okay, search backward will move the cursor to something you search. So we want to search for the less than sign. Okay, okay, that will move cursor to the beginning of the less than equal sign, less than sign. Then we gonna say new line. Okay, now what does new line? The function new line will just add a return. Okay, actually I don't want to say uline. Let's just say insert. Okay, insert a return. Why do I prefer insert a new line instead of calling the new line function? Because this is a tip about Emacs Lisp coding. Okay, because when you call some functions such as the new line function, they are designed for interactive use, for users to press keys. So usually they have lots of other features like options, whether you want to automatically indent things when for example when you press return. In many mods, Emacs will also automatically indent the line. So this kind of command, some commands, they are designed for user interactive use, but in Emacs Lisp code usually you want to avoid those because if you use those, it might do something else. You don't want that. You want tight control. So we just want to insert a new line use with this. Okay, so you call insert. So we insert the new line. And for now, let's just say insert the file name. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so we insert the file path. Okay. So eval the buffer, go back to the HTML, and we're gonna try this on this again. So call the command, call it. It asks me delete the PNG file, yes or no? No. Okay, here is our result. You see, it's good. It's already it's pretty good. Okay, but there's something we want to fix. So let's fix it. Okay, so hold on a second. Go back to the Lisp code. We want to insert the new line afterwards, not before. Right, so eval the buffer, back to the code, try it again, move the cursor to the image file path, call the command, call it, delete the PNG file, no, there it is. And I can call a command, wait, that's PNG, wait, we want the Jpeg, so that's the wrong file path. Okay, so let's do it again. Back to the code. We want to insert the input file path. No, we want to insert the core name, then insert a string.jpg. Okay. Eval the buffer, go back to the HTML file, call the command, call it, delete PNG file. No, there it is. That's what we want. Now I can manually linkify it. There we have it. So actually we are almost done. Okay, showing browser, you see we have one JPEG version, one PNG version, almost done. So delete that. Go back to the Lisp code. So what else we need to do? So the last thing we need to do is actually we need to turn this line into. Okay, so we need to turn. Hold on a second. So we need to turn this line into a line like that. Okay, so we need to turn that into that. Now I already have a command to do that, or we can do it from scratch. I think I'll just use the command I already have. Okay, so what? So questions, no questions, right? So how long have I been going? 34 minutes. Okay, 3 more minutes, then we'll be done with this. So we need a command that do this. Okay, let me show you. we begin with this. Now look at me. I press three keys. Okay, two keys. Okay, one, two, and it becomes that. That's what we need to do. And what's the command? What's the command that does that? That is Xah HTML image linkify. Okay, let's go to the code because I already have the code here. So this command is in this file Xah HTML mod.el. So open it. So here is the function. It's kind of big, okay, so that's why I don't want to go into scratch. I don't want to rewrite this whole thing from scratch. But anyway, let's copy it, close it, close that, back to the lisp code, and go down and paste the whole thing so we can have a look. Okay, the code is about 100 lines. Why is it that long? Because it is actually trying to do quite a few things. Now, how do we? Okay, we are not going to code that from scratch. Let's just code. Let's just call this code. Let's just call this function. Okay, let's just call the function there. So after we insert a new line, we want to go back, move the cursor back because this function needs the cursor back, needs the cursor on the image file path. So let's show that. So we backward chart, okay, backward chart. Let's say 2, okay. As long as the cursor is on the image file path, it'll work. So anyway, I think that's it. That's done. Okay, so eval the buffer. Hold on a second. Before we run it, let's double check on this function. Okay, this function does not require any argument. Okay, that's good. It just works on the whatever is under cursor. Okay, that's good. So eval the buffer, go back to the HTML. Where is it? Here. So we're gonna call it. Okay, so call the command. Yes. Do I want to delete the PNG? No. Yes, fantastic. Look, we got it. Show in browser. So that is success, and that is actually that is the end of that, the completion. So we have the code. This is the code. Okay, that finished our topic. Now we want to clean up. We don't. Okay, so we don't need this messages thing. So actually, I'm doing this live, as partly as a tutorial, and but in real life, I want that, like you know, in real life, I probably want something else. I mean, I need to add more features. For example, one of the feature I want is, I don't like every time I call this command. Let's try it again. Okay. Every time I call the command, I don't want it to ask me. Like, by the way, this is a user interface design issue. On Windows or on Linux, the fucking idiotic Linux people, like when you call a command, you don't want it to ask you questions. Like when you try to run a command, it try to install, it asks you questions. Oh, do you want this? Oh, but this one. Oh, make a choice, please. And they give you a bunch of cryptic things you don't understand. So for user interface, you want to avoid that. Call a command and just go ahead, do it. Okay, whatever questions, just do it. For example, if the file already exists, what do you want to do? One way is you ask a question. There's already a JPEG file. Do you want to delete it? That's no good. Okay. Rather, you just create a new file with a new name, like JPEG 2. 2-point JPEG or 3-point JPEG. Then, in the end, maybe you tell the user, okay, there's already a file, so you create a new one. That's a better That's a better user interface. So you don't want I don't want it to ask me, whether I want to delete the PNG or not. Just do it. Don't delete it. You do it. But however, sometimes I do want to delete it. Then you can modify your command so that it will take a universal. In Emacs it's called universal command, meaning that you press Control U first before you call the command. So you press Control U, then you call the command. Then it'll just delete the PNG beforehand. Then or you can ask questions. You can ask user questions. That's something more we can add to this command. Features. And also we can start to worry about efficiency. For example, shell command can be replaced by call process, because for example, when you call shell command, it actually start a shell. It actually start a bash, and that's less efficient. And also, we can start to worry about code elegance, things like that. For example, instead of set q on each one of these, we can put them inside the let, things like that. But anyway, that's it for today. So Alan says the Living Web Framework. What do you mean? You mean my Emacs setup stuff? So Alan says, in real life, is your normal workflow more copy pasting from older code? Yes, absolutely. Let's start from scratch. Yeah. How would you compare? Yeah, of course, obviously, because if I were to do this from scratch, if I were to do this offline, the reason I'm doing it online, because that's the Xah Talk Show, because I need some people can, you guys can learn Emacs Lisp, or you can see my workflow, how I work in this. So, maybe you see how I operate. It's good to see things. So that's why I'm doing it live. But if I'm doing, in the past 20 years, I've just coded as, without going on YouTube. And I would not do it from scratch, because I already have a code. Let me show you, okay? I already have a code that does similar. For example, now I want to make a icon of this. So I call the command. Let me show you, okay? I call the command. It asks me a width. Let's say 500, okay? There it is. You see, it creates a new file with the new dimension 614 by 407. It and it puts insert the path there. So I press a key, it becomes a link. And now I can show in browser, magnify. You see, I have 3 versions. You see, this one is a scaled down version. So I already have that command that does almost identical to the one we are doing today. The difference is that command is designed to scale the image. Well, originally it's designed to create a icon. Let me show you. Okay, you see, it's designed to create an icon so that if you go into you go to my keyboard, you see all these icons. That's a fruit of that command. So, but it does almost exactly what we want today, but except what we want today is to convert from JPEG to PNG and PNG to JPEG, and not ask for scaling. I don't want it to be scaled. That's why. So if I were coding it myself, I just do this. Okay. So let me show you. Okay. So I code describe key, then press a key. So this is a command, Xah create thumbnail image. Okay. Go to the source code here. This file. Open it, and here's the code. Copy it, new buffer, paste it. 80 lines of code, and make it Emacs Lisp. Okay, so here it is. So if I were to do it from scratch, I just modify this. This got lots of features, like it already has lots of features, and it will be faster. So I don't have to. Yeah. So that's about that. So okay. So now we can do. I feel like every time when I do a video, I feel like I have a purpose now. Now that purpose is complete, uh, uh, accomplished, mission accomplished. Now we can do random chat. Let's do that for 10 minutes. And what have you guys been talking about? Let's see. Okay, no more people and our jokes. So what are you guys talking about? So actually, let's start the Jira. Okay, so you guys come on. Okay, come on and talk to me and talk to people. So let me get that up. Okay, but before we do that, let me clean up my buffers so I don't get confused. My habit is always to shut down the buffers I don't want anymore. And also I need to okay, so open this. I don't want that. Close it, shut it. Uh, Open this. I don't want it. Delete it. Open this. Delete it. Okay. And open that. Go to the diet so we can see we have several deleted files. Okay. Delete them. Yes. Okay. In fact, open this PNG. I don't need it anymore. Delete it. Okay. So delete that. And now we go back to the Lisp code. Delete it and paste it here. Show in browser. That's our code. And we need to qualify it. Show in browser. That's beautiful. So now next we are going to talk about Japanese input systems, or we're gonna have a chat with you guys. So Alan says, does your ideal workflow have no open terminals? Entering text commands. Yeah, I rarely use terminals. Okay, so this is my terminal. The Emacs spit out these garbage error messages. So let's just clean it. Command K. Oh, Control K. Okay, Control K. Wait, what? Where am I? Okay, yeah, there it is. Wait. Why is it such a long delay? Hey, something is wrong here. LS. Wait, something is wrong here. Why is this? It's not even taking my input. Because I just type, it takes 10 seconds to show LS. What is going on? Go back to terminal. Wait. Go back to terminal. There is some problem with the terminal. I'm not sure what is going on with the terminal. My terminal seems to be not responsive now. So yeah, normally I don't use terminal anymore. I mean, if I want to, usually I just go to eShell. Okay, so here is eShell. Now let me show you. Okay, so here's my talk show for today. My talk show page. You can go to my talk show. Xah Talk Show. Wait. So you go to xah.info, the first link talk show, and you see all the indexes of my talk show. And you see today, I just added that, you see, but it's not on my website. So if you go to xah.info, go to talk show, scroll down, go to today's talk show. You see, it's empty. And now we go to eShell. Go to eShell. E shell is kind of a shell written in Emacs Lisp entirely. So I press a key. This is Xah interactive abbrev. So I pick the first choice. That's async. And now it's syncing to my server. Now you go back to the browser, refresh. You can see, everything is synced to my server. That's today's fruit. So I don't, and also when you want to copy files, create a directory, create a new file, you do all that in diet. Okay, so here's a diet. That's you can copy file, delete file, create file, move file, rename file, all in Emacs diet. It's far more efficient than doing it in terminal. The only reason I would use terminal today is when when you are doing something new, such as a new command, some installation script for Ruby or some new language, things like that, then you go to terminal, because in Emacs sometimes they don't work well. So when you are doing something new shell command, you go to terminal. But anyway, my terminal is for some reason frozen. Okay, I don't know why. So I think that's it for today. Explain your machine's hostname. Oh, my machine's hostname is from a professor who gave me the Mac, and I just didn't change it. That's all. Richard Palais, mathematician. So okay, so let's see what Alan. So I was going to start a Jira, so you guys can join and talk, but maybe not. Maybe that's it for today. I'm still kind of pissed why my terminal is not responding, and I have no clue why is that, because this shouldn't happen. So Alan says, does your ideal workflow? Okay, we answered that. No open terminals. I typically always have an open terminal though, because you need that sometimes. Well, yeah, because I quit Emacs often. Some Emacs users. Do you quit your Emacs? Like many Emacs users, they keep their Emacs open for weeks. For me, I need to close it like usually once a day at least, because when you code Emacs Lisp, there is no way to clean things out. Okay, you can try, but I can tell you for sure, Lisp languages, including Emacs Lisp and Mathematica, they create symbols. Like they have a symbol table for all the variable names. That's why they are called symbolic languages. But there's an issue. In Lisp languages, the symbols they just accumulate. You could clear them, but it's never as good as you just restart them. So in these languages, you do actually want to just quit, restart, from fresh. So let's just do that. Okay. So I let me do it. Okay. Close that. Quit Emacs. It's gone. Okay. Now go back to terminal. Oh, did I just close the terminal window? Wait. Okay, the terminal window is dead. I'm okay. So let's force quit terminal. I don't know what's this. This annoys me. I don't know what's going on with the terminal. Okay, I say quit. It's not quitting. I have to say force quit. Okay, I just forced quit terminal. Now I usually keep a terminal open because this is how I start Emacs. I just press the up arrow key then that's the command that's the command to launch Emacs. That's how I launch my Emacs. So I create Emacs like at least once a day to clean, to start from fresh. There we have it. Now you see my old setup. It's not. Now we have to enlarge font again and all that. So clear that. Okay, so so this, Alan, you would be interested. This is my exploring Webpack thing. It's still here. Uh, I really need to continue. I haven't been coding. The doing live video is kind of sucking the life out of me. I think that is true for the YouTubers too. I mean, even it's not much, like just 1 hour a day. And I try to not do much preparation. I don't, I try just to do it live. But actually, for some reason, it does sucks the life out of you. Because once you do it, it sucks the energy. But anyway, so let's see. And that we are about done. Maybe 5 more minutes, we shut down. Let's see, 8 people. So Aaron says host name stuff works. So what's my host name? Yeah, Dick Machine. Richard. The nickname, the English name Richard has the nickname Dick by convention. Now I try to look up. That's a hard question. Okay, why is Richard? Why is Dick the nickname for Richard? I did look up before, but I forgot. Some of there's a weird etymology reasons. So it's magically so nice coding. Okay, so terminal not working supports meta point. What do you mean? Anti-terminal position. So Sally, can you show us doing some heavy processing with Emacs? What do you mean heavy processing? So you mean like I need to wait, where is my Emacs? Okay, go back to Emacs. Like typically I put this window, my workflow. Okay, let me show you my workflow. So open a new buffer. So typically I have a Emacs. Now notice the bottom of the window. It must touch the screen. Okay, it must touch the screen. Okay, and let me close this window. Okay, so why must it touch the screen? Because I move my mouse. Now my mouse has auto click. I just move down. I don't have to click. Then I'm back in Emacs. Now the other option is to have function keys. Okay, let's show you my keyboard. Okay. Normally I would have the function keys. Like I press F9, it just switch me to Emacs. F8 will be terminal. Okay. F7 will be browser. Things like that. That's what I usually do. Been doing that for 10 years or more. But now because of the Kinesis keyboard, they don't have, their function keys is tiny. So I don't want to, it's not as good. It's like tiny function keys. So I do not have that option. And I also have a keypad in the middle, but all the keys are already used up for browser macros. I showed that a few times in my video. So I'm out of keys. So I need to get another programmable keypad. Anyway, so I'm out of keys, so I cannot just press a key to switch to Emacs. But I do have this also extremely useful auto click. I just move my mouse. I don't click. I showed that many times. I'm not clicking. Okay, when I click, you'll hear it. Actually, listen. Actually, I don't think you can hear it. But anyway, I don't click. So I just nudge my mouse, and we can look at Alan's food of today. Let's see, pierogi. So what is Alan's food? Real life. So heavy processing with Emacs. So this is Alan's food. Okay, so it looks like dumplings, but I'm not sure what's about the pierogi. We'll have to see. But heavy process. Oh, So what do you mean by heavy processing? Processing a large file inside Emacs. Oh, well, if you mean writing a Emacs lisp function that process files, okay, you mean writing a text processing program in Emacs lisp. So if so now Emacs depends on what you mean by heavy. Okay, so Emacs is actually not good for really heavy text processing. Okay, for light text processing, Emacs is better than Perl, Ruby, Python because Emacs has buffer data type, has lots of features, that's geared for text processing. So, but however, Emacs is not fast. Okay, Emacs Lisp is not fast. It's about 6 times slower than Python, Ruby, or Perl. So, so if you are talking about heavy text processing, like you process more than 10,000 files. I do regularly process more than 10,000 files a day, every day, because for example, let's go to my programming blog. So let's go to Xah info, cd up, magnify. Okay, let me show you. Okay, okay. So let's show the command Xah start command log mod. Okay, so now you can see my commands again. The commands I call in Emacs, such as, okay. So now for example, ls. This is my xah.info directory. Now I can do find dot name. Let's say anything HTML, and it's gonna output 5,000 files, 3,000 in Xah info. Okay, this for maybe 5,000 files. Okay, that's one of my website. And you see, so you can see the line number 4,400 HTML files. Okay, now I go to the index file. So you can see this is my xah.info. Now I can call Emacs command. Let's search for all places that contains the word Haskell. Okay, let's say Haskell. Okay, enter. Searching xah.info, yes. All HTML files, yes. Okay, you wait for 5 seconds, it'll show the results. So this is written in Emacs Lisp, and that command is xah find text. It's a package on Mailpath. You can get it. Okay, so right now here it is. Here's the result. It's searching, 5,000 HTML files, and here's the result. So this is text processing, and you can scroll to any part, open it. For example, here is one of the article that contains the word Haskell, language purity, code, and deception. This is a big rant on Scheme Lisp. So anyway, that's an example of text processing program written in Emacs Lisp. Hold on a second. Okay, so what do you mean by large, heavy processing? Is this heavy? Now, this works fine. But if you are talking about like Google, Facebook, you need to process 10,000 files every second. Then Emacs is no good. Okay, you rather code this in Golang. Well, in Ruby, Python, Perl. Okay, now if you want even faster, you need to code in Golang. In fact, let me show you the same. I showed this many times. Okay, first of all, let me show you the package I just used. So describe key, that command is xah find text, and it's in this file xahfind.el. Open it. Here's the source code. So the file is 800 lines. You go to the top, magnify, and here's the URL. Open it. Show in browser. Here's a package. You can get it from Mailpath. Okay. Now I have the same program written in Golang. That is when I need speed. Okay, so let me show you the Golang. Actually, I showed this in previous video before. So Golang. So go to bookmark Golang. Actually, go to bookmark find.go. Here is the code. Golang script. 186 lines of code. So we are going to find in this directory and find all files contains the word Haskell. Okay, here. So we run it, and it's going to run in background. It's you see it's faster. It's much faster than the Emacs version, about five or 10 times faster. So it's done. So now we go to the output directory, magnify, call Xah find output mod. So now it's colored, it's just like before. So we can go to open that, show in browser. So this article is about programming problem. Construct a tree given its edges. This is a question I got asked at Google from a idiotic Indian programmer. Okay, so the problem is given a bunch of edges of a tree. You need to construct the tree. So I wrote my solution. So that's it for today. So Alan says so yeah. So if you want heavy text processing, you need to go to Ruby, Python, or Golang. Now also large files. Emacs is not good for large files. Okay, so yeah, you need to go to Ruby or Golang. So can I program on Surface M3? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. So pierogi is like Central East European dumpling. Oh, okay. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and bye. Okay, so if you like my stuff, go buy my Emacs tutorial. Okay, so you just go to my website. There is the tutorial link. You can somewhere here. Where is it? Where is it? Anyway, so you can find the link at the bottom, I think. Yeah, buy Xah Emacs tutorial. Okay, so you are committed to learn Emacs Lisp, the most powerful fantastic language, and Patreon me. Okay, bye guys.